Hello everyone, all ready to discuss Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat? Okay, so this poem is written by T.S. Eliot. So this poem is written as a story, and there isn't a regular stanzas that are followed like other poems. And also there are not only rhyming schemes at the end of each line, but there are rhyming schemes that are found in between the sentences as well. Okay, so let's go through the poem. There's a whisper down the line at 11:39 when the night mail's ready to depart, saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? Has he gone to hunt the thimble? So the poem has a very suspenseful start where the time is 11:39 and the train is nearly ready to depart. But Skimble is nowhere to be seen. So we don't know who Skimble is as of yet. Okay, so they're asking, has Skimble gone to hunt the thimble? So if you see, thimble is this small shield that is used on the finger so that a person does not prick his or her hand while stitching. And there's also a game that children play with thimble. So people are asking if he has gone to hunt the thimble. That means they are asking if he has gone for a trivial pursuit. Trivial is something that is not important. Okay. We must find him or the train can't start. So the train can't start without Skimble being there. All the guards and all the porters and the station master's daughters, they are searching high and low, saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? For unless he's very nimble, then the night mail just can't go. So the meaning of the word nimble is agile. Agile means swift or is very fast, or else a night mail can't go. So all the people are frantically searching for Skimble, without whom the train can't start. At 11:42, then the signal's nearly due and the passengers are frantic to a man. Then Skimble will appear and he'll saunter to the rear. He's been busy in the luggage van. Okay, so finally, when the signal is nearly due at 11:42, they're saying Skimble will appear because he was at the luggage van, maybe sorting out any issues there. He gives one flash of his glass green eyes and the signal goes all clear. Okay. So here the poet has used imagery where we are imagining the situation. With his glass green eyes, he is setting off the signal and we are off at last for the northern part of the northern hemisphere. Okay, so they are going to the northern part of the northern hemisphere. That's where the train is headed. You may say that by and large it is Kimball who's in charge of the sleeping car express. Okay. From the driver and the guards to the bagman playing cards, he will supervise them all more or less. So here the poet says that Kimball takes care of surveillance. Where he supervises all the people on the train. Down the corridor, he paces and examines all the faces of the travelers in the first and the third. So here, no matter which class a person is traveling in, the first class compartment or the third class, he patrols them all and he'll know at once if anything occurred. Okay. So he is omnipresent. He goes everywhere and he ensures that everything happens perfectly. He will watch you without winking and he sees what you are thinking. And it's certain that he doesn't approve of hilarity and riot. So the folks are very quiet. Okay. So here this line tells us that he is very observant when it comes to people here. And he also sees what people are thinking, so he is reading people's mind as well. And he does not approve or does not allow any enjoyment, excitement or fun. And that is why when he patrols around the train, people are very quiet. You can play no pranks with Skimbleshanks, okay? So he's not a person who tolerates any kind of fun or pranks. He's a cat that cannot be ignored. So finally they said he's a cat and you cannot ignore him. So nothing goes wrong on the northern mail when Skimbleshank is aboard. So they're saying that because Skimble is so dominant or because he's so observant or because he's such a perfectionist, he ensures that nothing goes wrong aboard. So if you see in this particular part, freedom of expression and joy is suppressed in favor of order and discipline. Another word for suppressed is stifled. So I hope so much is clear. Let's move forward. Oh, it's very pleasant when you have found your little den with your name written up on the door. And the berth is very neat with a newly folded sheet, and there's not a speck of dust on the floor. There is every sort of light. You can make it dark or bright. There's a handle that you can turn to make a breeze. Okay, so if you see again, the poet has used vivid imagery here for you to imagine the entire compartment of the train. So they're talking about all the amenities that are present in the train and how everything is so immaculate. Immaculate is spotless. How everything is so immaculate in place and perfect, all thanks to the surveillance of Skimbleshanks, who ensures that nothing goes wrong in the train. So there's a funny little basin you're supposed to wash your face in and a crank to shut the window if you sneeze. So the entire part here talks about all the amenities in the train and how it is all perfect. Then the guard look in politely and will ask you very brightly, do you like your morning tea weak or strong? But Skimble's just behind him and was ready to remind him, for Skimble won't let anything go wrong. Okay, so here also, if you see the personality trait of being scrutinizing, another word for surveillance is scrutinizing, another synonym is supervising. Can you think of any other synonym? He is inspecting. Okay. So he is scrutinizing the work of the people who work for the train so that everything works seamlessly. And when you creep into your cozy berth and pull up the counterpane. So what is counterpane? Counterpane is your quilt or your bedspread. And you pull up your counterpane, you ought to reflect that it's very nice to know that you won't be bothered by mice. You can leave all that to the railway cat, the cat of the railway train. Okay, so here the travelers don't even have to worry about common rodents. So mice, they are rodents. As the cat has taken care of that as well. In the watches of the night, he is always fresh and bright. Even now and then, he has a cup of tea with perhaps a drop of scotch while he's keeping on the watch. Okay. So I told you there can be rhyming scheme in between sentences also. So if you see scotch and watch like this. Okay. So if you see in these particular lines, anthropomorphism is done. So anthro A-N-T-H-R-O, pomorphism. Okay. So what is anthropomorphism? It is giving a human trait or a human emotion to non-human entities. So here see, a cat never has a cup of tea or a drop of scotch. So this is giving human trait to non-living things, non-human beings. So that is anthropomorphism. Okay. Only stopping here and there to catch a flea. Flea is a insect. You were fast asleep at crew and so you never knew that he was walking up and down the station. You were sleeping all the while he was busy at Carlisle, where he greets the station master with elation. Elation is happy. Being happy is being elated. Okay. So here this entire part talks about how vigilant the cat is. When you were sleeping, the cat was vigilant and observant and doing his duty. So as the travelers were sleeping, they were oblivious that he was alert, attentive throughout the journey. So another word that I mentioned before was oblivious. Oblivious means unaware. So please remember these words and use them so that you can get a higher score and your answer can stand out from the other ones. But you saw him at Dumfries where he speaks to the police if there's anything they ought to know about. So he is also making sure and talking to the police if anything is amiss and if everything is perfect. When you get to Gallowgate, there you do not have to wait, for Skimbleshanks will help you get out. So that is again another thing that Skimbleshanks finally helps you with is get out of the train. He gives you a wave of his long brown tail which says, I'll see you again. You'll meet without fail on the midnight mail, the cat of the railway train. So finally, as a parting gesture, what does he do? He waves his tail and it tells them, let's meet again on the midnight mail. So this is the poem Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat. So let's see what the theme of the poem is. So when we just look at the poem, we can see it as a fun poem where a cat is doing non-cat activity like moving around the train and so on. But when you look in depth, the poem, it talks about absolute control and authority. So the cat Skimbleshanks has traits like controlling nature, constant vigilance, maintaining order and discipline, and is responsible for the smooth operations of the train. So maybe a trait of a dictator can also be seen in this cat. The next theme of the poem is fear and respect. People on the train are not allowed to laugh, play, pranks, or have fun on the train, and the presence of the cat commands respect. Therefore, freedom of expression is controlled. People cannot act freely even if they want to because of the fear that the cat invokes inside them. And finally, the cat also shows the trait of being a perfectionist. So the cat is shown to be obsessed with perfectionism and make sure that everything happens to the T. So he is like omnipresent. He is everywhere you think about and he makes sure that the entire happenings of the train happens perfectly. And I think in a way it is a boon to the people who are traveling because they can travel without any fear because they know that Skimbleshanks is there to help them out. So I hope you've understood this poem. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.